Hello and welcome to Michael's Minty Music for today. Today we review Billy Joel's 2001 album Fantasies Delusions. It's a classical album composed by Joel and performed by Richard Hyung-ki Joo, all for piano. It's just piano here. It's pretty alright, although I don't listen to a ton of classical music, so I don't have a great frame of reference for reviewing this album, but you gotta start somewhere. This is the track listing, and these are the tracks I added to my playlist. Technically only 3 out of 12, but this album is still pretty good overall. Classical songs don't really fit well on my playlist, and it's difficult for any specific song to stand out for me when they're all classical. I still like this album, and I thought it was good, but like I mentioned before, I don't really have any frame of reference for determining whether this is good or not. In regards to classical music, I enjoyed it. In any case, it's a good alternate sound to hear sometimes when I'm listening to mostly pop stuff. And I think I'll listen to this album again whenever I'm feeling like I want to listen to classical music. In terms of flow, this album's really good, although that goes naturally with the classical style. And it probably works better as a whole album than any individual track here. There were obviously no singles released before the album, no radio songs. But I guess my favorite track here was probably fourth one, Invention in C minor. Although, I mean, choosing a specific track doesn't really feel right with this style. They're really all good. And the ones I specifically chose for my playlist are a little bit more work better individually. But just listen to the whole thing, really. Now, I rank this my least favorite out of all of Billy Joel's albums, mostly because I just enjoy pop music more than classical in general. That's pretty much all that's going on with this ranking. If you like classical more than pop, you'd probably put this at the top of the rankings. I don't know, maybe you could justify something in the middle based on the quality, but it's pretty difficult to compare the rest of his catalog with Fantasies and Delusions, so I just left it at the bottom. For a similar reason, this album doesn't take my top spot from 2001. That stays with Pink's Misunderstood, which I like better because it's pop and it's not classical. It's basically impossible for me to really compare the two albums, but in general, I just like pop music better. So, but some of that's just because of listening to a lot more of it. But so yeah, Pink's Misunderstood keeps the top spot. Next up is the Police's debut 1978 album, Outlandos de Amor. It's pretty good, although I think they got better afterwards. This one's still a great beginning to their career, so stay tuned for that. And as always, stay minty.